for the final time.
I hate to say this. Kawhi Leonard wants out of San Antonio.
Leonard fires from the corner. And Leonard goes down again.
This is a San Antonio team that is really headed into a full rebuild.
You just saw the San Antonio Spurs. They were knocked out of playoff contention, which ends a streak of 22 straight years of making the playoffs.
I got loyalty inside my DNA. I got loyalty, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I was born like this, is born like this. Immaculate conception, and the was performed like this. Was y'all, she wasn't a weapon, not a weapon. I meditate and on your feet. It's that people against the bed. It's that I got loyalty, got loyalty inside my DNA. I got loyalty, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I was born like this, is born like this. Immaculate conception, not your was performed like this. Was y'all, she wasn't a weapon, not a weapon. I meditate and on your feet. It's that people against the bed. It's that I got.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Well, we're stars up tonight, huh? We got stars everywhere.
I'm excited. We have a Dallas team that is succeeding. We'll say that.
Yes, doing something.
Yes, because the Rangers are playing subpar, and we don't know what the
Rangers are struggling. Dallas is Dallas. We don't care about the Mavericks, so
yeah, rigged.
Yeah. So I just real quick, right off the jump. I mean, AJ's already getting some love. We don't even have him on the screen yet, and he is getting some love. That's. I love it. I love it.
I know. I am so excited to have him back on. We had said when we had him on to talk with him about what he's done and with his pretty much young career in hockey and everything, and we told him we wanted him to come back on, and we had just talked about him, and then he hit you up talking about he wanted to come on. Yep. So I'm excited to have him back on. So with that being said, man, let's bring AJ on.
There he is. What's up, Mr. AJ?
What's up? Excited to be here again.
Yes, sir.
Hey, well, thanks, man, for coming on again and giving us your time.
Of course.
But before we kind of get into the NHL stuff, tell us what you've had going on since we talked to you last. Because last time you were kind of up in limbo of what you were going to do after high school, and now we're here. And then tell everybody what's going on.
So I just graduated high school last weekend.
Congratulations.
With that being said, I wanted to finish out playing youth hockey and whatnot, and then I was just kind of gonna go with the flow after that, rather that be college or rather that have been juniors. So I ended up getting in contact with a junior coach, and he told me, go out, start skating with some of the players. There's a couple different teams coaches that go to these skates and stuff and they all kind of run the skate and whatnot. They do drills and then we scrimmage. And I'd ended up getting along really well with a couple of the coaches and stuff. And one of the coaches, his name's Coach Phil. I appreciate him a lot. He got me a contract signing with the Chicago Cougars in the USPHL for junior hockey. So
that's all, just for getting out there and continuing to do what you love. There it is.
Yep. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without Coach Phil. I appreciate everything he did for me, helping me get that contract and stuff. And it'll be a fun season, that's for sure,
When does that start up?
That's exactly what I was.
So my contract officially goes into play August 1st. So as of August 1st, I will be a Chicago Cougar. But like during the summer, we'll have practices and like team outings and events and stuff, so the boys could get to know each other.
I like it.
That is awesome, man. I mean, congratulations on that. Obviously, all the hard work and stuff you've put in is paying off, and we're excited for you and your next adventure. So kind of what is the difference between junior hockey and what would be after that?
So junior hockey is where kids go to play, rather it's they don't want to go to college and they just want to go play hockey, not focus on school, and they just want to focus on getting better and stuff. And now some people will go sign somewhere straight out of juniors, and others will go play college hockey somewhere out of after juniors. But once you hit 20, you age out of juniors. So like a lot of kids will end up going straight from juniors and going to play college hockey off somewhere D2, D1, So junior hockey is kind of put in play to help you develop and get ready for the next level.
So it doesn't take away from your eligibility in college playing junior?
No, not at all. Juniors is like its own league. And then colleges, they obviously have their own leagues and their own
leagues. What does go ahead, Dustin?
I was gonna say, so junior is pretty much like pre-college in a way, like before you go to college. Now, do you? So obviously you did that, but if another person like you, how do you get to that level without maybe, like you said, that coach helped you? How does another person get there without maybe? What if they don't have the help? Is it like a tryout or?
Oh, they do. There's all types of ways that you could get into juniors, and make it. It's like, for me, I was very fortunate that I got along with the coach. The coach liked me and stuff, he was willing to help me. I got very fortunate with that, but there's also there's a lot of combines that there's a combine that was out in Chicago I was going to go to before I signed. But it was there's some tier 2 coaches and there's a lot of tier 3 coaches that'll show up there, and you play in front of them, you run some games, you get put on a team, And if a coach likes you, they'll pick you up. They aren't really too shy about it or anything. If you reach out, more than likely you'll get talked to by 1 out of 5 coach at least.
That's awesome, man. Well, we're excited that you're doing that. And do they play on TV? Just curious.
Yeah. So there's I think it's called Flow Sports.
Okay.
And it's they'll stream all the games on there on Flow Sports, and then they have their own separate little subscription TV. It's called Black Bear Hockey or just Black Bear TV, I want to say, and they have all the junior games from the league on that too.
That's awesome.
What does a contract for this league look like? I mean, is it multiple year deals? Is it something where it's just like a year-to-year basis?
So it'll look like, they give you your contract and breakdown and stuff. You still got to pay for your jersey and equipment. Obviously, buses aren't cheap out here.
Right.
You pay for that stuff, but your contract pretty much once you first sign, it'll kick off once the season starts. So you're technically still you until the season starts. And the contracts are whichever team you signed with. Unless you get traded, that's your team until you're done with juniors. You can't go play.
Wait.
You can
get traded?
Yeah. I know.
Nuts.
I know.
A few of my friends have played through this league. Someone I grew up playing high school hockey with, he got traded from the team I'm on, and then he got traded to the Wisconsin Dells Ducks. Another one of my friends, I forgot where he started, but he got traded to the Wisconsin Rivermen. So,
that's great. That's crazy that junior hockey, you can get traded.
Yep.
Especially, I mean, you say you have to pay for your own jerseys and stuff like that. I couldn't imagine waking up in the morning and I'm in Illinois and they're like, hey, you're going to Wisconsin. Load up. Like all my like, what am I doing here? Like what?
Yeah, it's a little nerve wracking, you know that part, but I'm sure it makes for a fun journey for a lot of people.
Oh, I'm sure some people have stories to tell about that, and that's so cool.
Yeah, it's certainly cool. They have a lot of scouts and stuff come out to the game, you know. So you just gotta work whenever you're on the ice, and you shouldn't really have anything too much to worry about.
That's awesome, man. That's really awesome. Well,
here you go, AJ. We got a question. Said, could you get picked up from the pros straight from juniors?
I could, if I end up getting called up to either to Tier 2 or even the Premier League. Tier 2 is what they call the NAL, the NAHL, and that's like one of the higher levels of juniors. It's like the United States Hockey League, which is Tier 1 juniors, and then the NAL, which is Tier 2. And in the USPHL, you could get called up to like any NAL team. So if I was to end up getting called up, and like let's say NHL and AHL scouts go to games and stuff. So let's say a organization liked me. We'll go with the Blackhawks for an example. Let's say the Chicago Blackhawks liked me. They could put me in their organization and have me sign under their East Coast team, the ECHL, the Indy Field. And then from the Indy Field, I would be in the Blackhawks organization, be able to get called up and down.
So it's almost like a baseball farm system.
Yeah,
like you have this AA, AAA, single A, and you work through the organization up to the majors, the NHL.
Yeah, definitely. It's very
okay.
But yeah, that's definitely a possibility. But more times than not, you don't really start seeing those pro contracts come in until you're like for sure whether you want to go to college or not, you know.
Okay.
That way they don't sign you and then you say, "Oh, I want to go to college."
Yeah, and then a lot of times teams will just wait on you until you go to college, and once you're about to finish up college, then they'll offer you that contract because, you know, rather that contract comes from Germany, rather that contract's from Sweden, rather it's a contract out here in the States. Like, it's very possible you could get a pro contract because of juniors.
Now, I don't know any other sport how they do it, but I'm just going to ask about hockey. They have a draft, right? You have an NHL draft.
Yeah.
Do you have to enter the draft, or can you just say, like, say you were going to be the number 5 pick, but it was going to go to Winnipeg, and you don't want to go to Winnipeg? Could you just like say, no, I'm not. I'm coming out of college, but I don't want to enter the draft. I'm just going to be like a free agent and do it that way.
A lot of times is like with that, those kinds of kids, they don't really have the choice rather what team they're on or not, because one of the toilet bowl teams is gonna end up picking up probably the first pick,
right.
So either way, you know, like the team that those kinds of people are gonna go to, they're not gonna be the greatest. So those kids, they're kind of already programmed that, hey, you know, we're gonna go to one of these teams because they need us. So. But there has been an instance where the Flyers drafted this kid, and he wanted nothing to do with Philadelphia. He didn't want to play there. He said it. He expressed his feelings, and the coach told him, well, if you don't want to be here, we don't want you here. He was one of the top 5 picks. They sent him away to Anaheim. That's usually how that goes if a player doesn't want in on a team or something. They express it. They express that, you know, they don't want to be there. And the coach, there's nothing you could really do if a player don't want to play for your team.
Yeah, I mean, that's unheard of, because like if you hear someone say they don't want to play for you, sometimes they won't get drafted. And, you know, I'm not sure how much you care about basketball or football, but kind of like what happened to Shedeur Sanders. He said he didn't want to play here, and he ended up getting drafted to the team, but it was like 5 rounds later.
Yeah.
But I mean, so it's crazy that you can do that. But in hockey, it seems like it may not affect you getting drafted. You're just telling them, hey, I don't want to go here. Then another team just picks you up, I guess.
Yeah, you could. You don't have to like even necessarily get drafted to go into the NHL. Like I said, you could get a call from a scout and be like, hey, you know, the Blackhawks want to put you in their organization and let you develop. And just like that, you're ready playing pro hockey and you're under a pro team's organization. And at that point, you just got to keep working and try to get called up as much as you can.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's so many different ways you can get in. It's not just college, getting drafted, which is awesome for someone like, you know, like you're deciding, you know, you're not going to college, you're going to the junior league. So it's kind of cool that even from here you can get drafted, or not necessarily get drafted, but you can get on a pro team without even having to go through the draft and so forth. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. We're excited for you, man. That's awesome. I'm gonna check it out and see about checking some games out.
Once you figure out what TV streaming service stuff, let us know, and we'll definitely maybe look into it. Maybe I don't know if we even have it down here.
I'm sure you guys have it. I think it's just like an online thing to where
okay.
couple of those couple of apps and stuff, they have all of our games.
That's awesome, man. Well, let's talk about the playoffs, man. What's your kind of first impression how it's gone up until now?
Honestly, I kind of expected it to roughly be this way. I never really slept on Dallas. I always knew Dallas had a really good young team the past couple years. I figured it was going to be just a matter of time before Jake Einger finally comes out of his shell and forms into the star that he's shown the past couple seasons. I figured, you know, it was only about time till some of those young kids mature a little bit in the NHL and start really playing and working. And the Stars have showed why they, you know, like they could play.
Yeah.
As far as Edmonton, I don't think anybody's really surprised at the last Canadian team in, you know, like they had high expectations, especially taking Florida to Game 7 last year, being down 3-0. Everybody kind of has high expectations for them this year, especially because Connor McDavid ain't won a cup yet. Leon Draisaitl hasn't, you know, like. So with I think that's the Western Conference you guys are in.
Mm-hmm.
With Western Conference Finals, one team certainly has a lot more pressure than the other, and we're going to see how that comes into play. But they both have their strengths and they both have their weaknesses, that's for sure.
So I think it's pretty cool that it's a 2 and 3 seed on both sides.
Yeah.
You have the 2 and the 3 seed on both ends. So I'm looking at the bracket right here.
Yep.
And one thing that I'm kind of curious about, I guess, is what as far as with you, what do you think the reason that Dallas got past the Jets?
So
because so once we kind of got off of our show with you 3-4 weeks ago, I started paying a whole lot more attention to the NHL stuff. I think Dustin did too. I think we really wanted to kind of learn a little bit more about it. And everybody that I was reading up on or doing all this, the Jets were it. I mean, the Jets were the team, the best team in the NHL. That they were going to walk through the playoffs, and then boom, here come the Stars.
You ready for a little insight?
I'm loving it.
So with that, any Canadian fan base, they're going to be like that about their team all this our year. As a Canadian team, they just can't accept the fact that, you know, there might actually be a shot their team don't go all the way. But with the Jets, they've been the President's Trophy winner in the West for, I don't even know. It's been like 6 times in the past, 8 years they've won the President's Trophy. But at the end of the day, if a team's not built for the playoffs and you don't build your team for the playoffs, your team is not going to do good. And I think it showed a lot, how their team was built in round 1 versus St. Louis when you take a wild card team to 7 games and almost end up losing. It just shows that your team's not built for the playoffs. Maybe you don't have the right core guys. You know, maybe your goalie's just not built for the playoffs. It could all come down to a lot of things, but at the end of the day, I feel like the Canadian teams and their fan bases put so much more pressure on their teams than they actually need, to where sometimes they just don't realize that no, hey, your team's not built for the playoffs. You guys need to switch things around. And the Maple Leafs, how they've been the past 15 years. They can't accept the fact that their core guys aren't going to get it done for them. They can't. They're not big enough. They're not strong enough. You know, they want to do it themselves. Opposed to when you have Florida, you have guys like Brad Marchand, Sam Bennett, who just sit there in front of the net and piss off your goalie, you know, and whack them. They get into fights. They get into the dirty areas and stuff. And when you don't have nobody like that on your team, it's hard to win games in the playoffs because that's where a lot of those goals come from.
You almost need like the bruisers. Like you need somebody that's going to go out there. Me and Dustin are big basketball guys, so you're almost going to need like that Dennis Rodman type. He's not going to score a bunch of points. But he's going to do all the dirty stuff. He's going to be the one that the back you up. He's going to be the one that fights for you. That kind of digs in when you need a huge hit to stop some momentum. And I think Dallas has a few of those. What do you think? What's your take on that?
I think Dallas has probably, I'm going to say they have the second strongest offensive core in the playoffs right now. I
agree.
Right behind Florida, Dallas has a very strong defensive core and a very strong goalie. So with that being said, you know, yeah, they got really good forwards too. Don't sleep on Dallas's forwards. They're young, they're quick, they can move. And I think that's really what catches a lot of teams by surprise. I'm not going to say Dallas is the biggest and baddest team by any means, but Dallas is a big team, and they're fast. They move, and that catches a lot of team off guard.
Yeah, I noticed when I watched them, it's like, and obviously, and it doesn't matter what sport it is, but it seems like they flow really well together. Like, really well. Like, even the goalie, like, I saw that Dallas's goalie make some insane blocks and saves. Like
he just made one. I've got my second monitor right here to the left, and I got YouTube TV pulled up on it. So like, if you see me looking, I like catching the game. They're like flying by. I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, like I've seen him do some insane stuff. Like almost like, and every time I see a goalie do this, it's like they almost do the splits, making an insane save. And like I said, with what I've watched, man, you've got to be really quick and really know the game of hockey to be able to block some of these shots. Because like I did not realize how just that puck flies, man. That puck is flying across that rink all the time. And I did want to ask a question when it came to the goalie. Why do sometimes why do they get out of that goalie area and go behind it to get the puck? Doesn't that kind of open the goal for someone to score if they were to come around? I don't really understand why I saw him do that a few times.
Okay, so the trapezoids on like the side of the net in the corners, the goalie can't put the puck there. That's a penalty. So if they play the puck, it's either got to be out of their crease in front of the net, or they could be behind the net, you know, as long as they're not in the trapezoid. And a lot of times they'll do that to slow it down so the puck don't just wrap all the way around the boards to their D man.
Right.
And they'll stop it and just leave it for their D so their D could grab it, regroup behind the net, you know, get a line change, and then get things going again. Opposed to flies around the boards. Florida has a winger absolutely just crashing in on it, you know. It just slows the game down a little bit, maybe opens up more space, you know, more time.
Okay.
So that's like the big reason why the goalies will play it.
Gotcha, man. I mean, them goalies and two have to be like very don't mind being hot, man. They got some equipment on. I mean that. Like, I mean, look at Derek's this guy behind Derek. He looks like he weighs about 400 pounds, but I know he doesn't. But I mean,
let's ask it this way: how cold is the ice? Like actually playing?
Yeah.
How cold is it there when you're playing?
I can't lie, it's really not too bad, especially when you're in a heated locker room right before the game.
And I mean, you're out there and you're moving, you're working up body sweat, and
exactly. It's not.
Okay. So you said something a while ago about Dallas being big and fast. How fast are you inline to inline?
Like how fast could I skate from one side of the ice to the other?
Yeah. I
say probably like 3 to 4 seconds at most.
Smoking, dude. That's moving.
That's crazy. Man, like I couldn't. I've never ice skated before in my life, and I don't plan on it because I won't make it.
Oh, you don't ever go to Marshall and go skating?
I've never been there.
Oh, dude, we used to take my daughter for her birthday all the time. Her and a couple friends, and the ETBU hockey team actually will have like a practice out there, and everybody gets to watch the practice. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. We haven't done it in a few years.
Yeah.
How often? And this is like a random just question about how often do they really have to sharpen those skates? Is it like after every game, after every practice, or?
I mean, it kind of, I guess, just depends on the player. Some players don't like their skates freshly sharpened. Some like them a little. Stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like usually if you're on the ice a couple times a week, like after the week, you'll get your skates sharpened,
Okay.
Sharpen, get them fresh edges and stuff. Because what that does for you is it really helps you cut into the ice and like lock down on those like sharp turns you got to make. That's what getting your skate sharpened really focuses on.
Gotcha.
How wide is the net? I was just looking at the goalie. They were just showing he's 95% of the net's taken up by him. How wide is the net?
4x6 or 6x4. It's one or the other.
Okay.
Okay.
The NHL, it's kind of messed up, but you won't get drafted if you're like under 6'2", 200 pounds.
You're
under 6'2", 200. Yeah,
and it's crazy to think that some of these guys are. I mean, like you just look at them on there and they're not very big, but like when you say that and you go like look up their stats and stuff, their info, they're like 6'4", 245, stuff like that, and they're flying and just banging into these boards.
I was just about to say, I love. Obviously, I love when they fight, but I love when you have someone on one of those walls and you see someone just flying across and they just smash right into them.
Yes.
Crap, and knowing they're that big, it's almost like it's sometimes I'm thinking like it's like football on ice. Like, that's like football on ice. Like I swear, there's so many concepts in hockey that like there's something in every sport in a way that's incorporated into hockey somehow. Like you can get a football type thing, the way it's ran, like kind of how baseball, double A, triple A, and Soja. That's kind of like the journey you can make, and then. It's almost like going back and forth. It's kind of like a soccer thing. Like it's just crazy how like this sport has so many different other sports. It seems like it could be in it. So like it's crazy. It's awesome though. I'm going to make a statement is that from next year I'm going to put more time into hockey when it comes.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
I have to because the little bit I've watched, I'm just like it was funny. And I told Derek this. I can't remember what game Dallas was playing, and I think we were about to do a Friday show, and I was like, man, I'm going to turn the game on. So I turned it on, and as soon as I turned it on, it said final score. I was like, dude, come on. Like, it's like when I go to watch it, they're always over. So I did want to ask you, where do you – I know we kind of talked a little bit of this before, but where do you think the Golden Knights kind of fell apart at?
So I think their confidence really got shattered by Minnesota because –
I was surprised by that series. That went a lot longer than I thought it was going to go.
Like, at the end of the day, no team has really seen what Minnesota's fully capable of. Like I said, they've been battling through injuries and stuff, and it took till the playoffs for them to finally get their whole team back. So I think when Vegas was going in there, they're like, oh, we're versing a wild card team full of kids, like we're just going to steamroll them. We got Jack Eichel, we got Pietrangelo, we have Aiden Hill in that. But then once those kids came out flying and showed they're still young, they still have legs. They could play a whole 3 periods and be okay. It really just, I feel like that caught Vegas off guard so much because Vegas is a team full of veteran players that know how to grind and get the game done. But when you're versing a team that don't sit there and battle in front of the net, when you're versing a team that could dangle you and make your defender look stupid and just tear away his confidence, like at the end of the day, you're gonna lose a lot of confidence and be like, we really just let a team full of 21-year-old kids just keep up with us. Like, and then I feel like, maybe they got into their mind like, wow, now we got to go on versus Edmonton, and play the 2 best forwards in the world.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Edmonton just scored on a power play. They scored on a power play, 2-1. Was it Nugent Hopkins?
Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Yep.
Yeah, he just scored. So let me. They just had a. I guess it would be called like a reset. They redropped the puck.
Yeah.
A face off, another face off. Why is it that they cleared the puck? Dallas did, and it went all the way to the goalie. And they brought it all the way back and did a face off. What is that all about?
So
it's like icing. I think it's called icing.
Yeah. So it was either that there was a penalty on the play, so once Dallas grabs the puck, the whistle goes, and they just didn't know and they sent it all the way down, or Dallas got it. They were probably under pressure trying to get the puck out, and they just iced it. And icing is like when you send the puck all the way down behind the red line in the middle of the ice.
Okay.
That's icing as long as the defensive team gets there first, you know.
I got you.
Okay.
A lot of times, like in the NHL, if you ice the puck in the NHL, you can't make a change. So if you ice the puck under pressure and you guys are tired, you got to stay on the ice.
I got you. I'm with you now. I'm with you. Some people use it as a way to get rotation out, and sometimes you just clear it to switch. That's another thing that I like. Like they'll just be running, one will come on and one will go off. Like they don't stop and sub and do all that. It's constant motion.
Yep, exactly. That's why I think a lot of people like hockey, because it don't really get boring. It's fast paced.
Yeah.
On the barbarians on the ice trying to fight each other.
Yeah.
Well,
so we've talked kind of about both sides here. Who do you have in the final, and who do you have winning it?
All right, so this is a tough one here because I got Florida going to the finals on the east side. I feel like the Western Conference final, the Stars and Oilers, I feel like that's going to be a lot closer. Florida has already showed and proven and just asserted that, they could get it done. They know what it takes. They know to get there. Now, here's the thing. Dallas has so much potential that it's almost like they have so much potential, it's scary. It's like they could work you down in front of the net. They could make you look silly. They could move the puck around you. Like, they could have a goalie that makes a 40-save game, lets in one goal, come away with. Like, Dallas has so many, options in how they could win a game that it's super unpredictable. But at the same time, when you have Connor McDavid on your team, you don't know if Connor McDavid's going to go score a hat trick in the third period, or rather he's going to go and get 3 assists in 10 minutes because he's pissed off,
Yeah.
Threes will certainly come down to who could lock up their defensive zone better and keep the puck out of there.
So who's winning it all?
Honestly, I think if Edmonton goes back to it versus Florida, I think Edmonton will take it versus Florida. But I think if Dallas goes against... I think if Edmonton goes against Florida, Florida will take it. But if Dallas goes against Florida, I think Dallas might take it because
I think the West wins it regardless. I don't care the matchup. I think these are the best two teams left in it. Just from what I've seen, either on ESPN or the clips that I've caught or the reports that I've read on it, I think these are the best two teams left in there.
I mean, Florida had a heck of a game last night.
They had a great game. Yeah. And I'm not knocking them at all.
They dominated that game. And they're playing the Hurricane, am I right?
Yes.
That's who they're playing. Well, AJ, does the Hurricanes, do they have a chance at all to beat Florida? I mean, I think I know we're the playoffs and anything can happen, but do they honestly have a chance? Because I was surprised when they beat Washington. I did not expect that. I thought Wayne was going to go for one more night or win one. I was like, man, this is like I thought he may retire. And then me and Derek decided maybe he doesn't. Man, he's not going to go out getting the record and then just ending it that way.
Yeah,
I hope he comes back because of that reason. Because then they're going to say, well, he just played to get the record and be done.
Yeah.
Kind of what are your thoughts on the Hurricanes? And then, like, do you think Wayne comes back and plays another season?
Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Not Wayne Ovechkin, yeah.
the Hurricanes, they're always a strong team, one of the stronger teams in the league. It's not really a surprise they made it this far. Personally, I think the Hurricanes definitely by far had the weakest,
3-1.
Yeah, they had the weakest teams to play coming on up to the conference final. Like, they had the easiest brackets and easiest games by far out of any other team that there was. And I mean, I'm not trying to take any credit away, but at the same time, it's like they were versing people that, like, you knew, like, the Hurricanes were gonna win. Like, the Capitals,
Okay.
not really a surprise that the Hurricanes beat the Capitals, And as far as, like, Ovechkin goes, he already said he wanted to play. He still wants to play.
Oh, okay.
Good.
I'm sure we'll see another season or two out of Ovechkin at least. But the Hurricanes, anything's possible in the NHL playoffs. Absolutely anything is possible. But as of right now, I think Florida are the clear favorites. They have the stronger team, the more physical team, I don't think they're really ready for Florida yet.
Wow. Wow. All right. I love it, man.
Well, AJ, keep us informed with whatever you've got going on. I mean, when you, what'd you say, August, your contract kicks off?
Yeah, August 1st.
You let us know when your first game is, man. We'll try to look it up on our end, and we'll try to, if it's online, if the Chicago team has a Facebook page, send it to me. And, dude, we'll share the game to the page, and we'll tag you in it, and we'll get as many people kind of watching it and following you as we can.
That sounds good. It sounds like that'd be fun. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And then we'll go ahead, Dustin.
I do want to ask one question when it comes to what is the expectation with you coming in? Do you think you're going to get playing time in this first season?
Yeah, the expectation for me coming in is obviously, I'm a smaller skills forward. They're probably going to look at me, to put up points, put some points up on the board and stuff. I definitely think I'll get playing time. I'm hoping I'll get a top 6 role. Even if I don't get a top 6 role right away, it's my first year on the team. It wouldn't be the first time I went from bottom 6 to top 6.
How good were they last year?
I think they were a really good team. The only time that we really showed signs that we weren't, like, a very good team, I'd say, is when we let our scratches come in and play, which I'm not saying our scratches are bad. Those were, like, younger kids, like, we let the 16-year-olds come in and play from the league below and stuff like that. But other than that, our team was solid. We had a winning record. And I think they really want to, like, add a couple more depth players to their roster, put up some more points, maybe make some more hits and whatnot. I feel like they want to add a more faster style of play into their playbook.
Man, that's awesome. Well, we like I said, like when you get some information on everything and send it over to us, and we'll definitely find a way to check you out and watch you play, man, and we'll pump it out on our socials and stuff, and we'll get everybody watching you, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man, and
have a good summer.
Enjoy your summer, and we'll be looking out for everything.
Yes, sir. I'll keep you guys updated.
All right, buddy.
Thank you, man.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Bye.
You too, man.
Well, that's cool, dude.
We learned a little bit more about hockey just from, like, where he's going. It's so cool that he's getting.
I didn't know they had a farm system in the hockey.
Either. I thought it was. Well, I think I knew there was like a league below the college, but I didn't realize there was junior and so forth.
Yeah, the AHL or whatever. Yeah.
That's so cool.
There's a bunch.
I think it's awesome that he has this opportunity to go and play in the junior league and potentially one day, because of this, outside of getting drafted, becoming a pro, which I think would be super awesome. So congratulations to him, and we'll be looking out for him for sure. Well, man, let's talk about the game last night. I mean, it was pretty close from whenever I was keeping up with it. I did not watch the game last night.
I watched a little of it, but not a lot.
And I mean, it went exactly how I expected it to go when I woke up and saw the score. Minnesota just doesn't have from game one. I'm not going to talk about for the series because anything can happen, of course.
Right.
But off of game one, Minnesota just doesn't have the total scoring needed outside of Ant. And I didn't look at the numbers, so I don't know how Julius Randle and him played.
Julius Randle had 20 points at halftime. Played phenomenal in the first half, and that's why they were. I think they were up at half by 2.
Mm-hmm.
He finished with 28. Edwards had 0 points in the fourth quarter. We talk about all these teams. We talk about OKC blowing it up and going to get Giannis if they have to. And the Knicks. I'm telling you right here, right now, if Minnesota doesn't get Ant a sidekick, he's leaving. Ask me. Let me double check this. I want to make sure I give you the correct number here. Boom scores yesterday.
Yeah, Ant's got to get some help. There's no doubt about it.
Ask me how many points Rudy Gobert had.
I mean, I give him a little bit of respect offensively, not much, but I'll say 6. I mean,
very, very, very good, Dustin. That's very close. He had 2 in 21 minutes.
Well,
he had 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block in 21 minutes.
The rebounds is surprising to me.
He is washed. His defensive player of the year, they gave up so much to go get him from Utah. They gave up so much. But I'm telling you right now, mark this down. If they do not get Ant some help, he's gone. He's gone.
Sooner than later, or do you think he gives it another couple of years to see?
Well, he's under contract still, so he can't just up and leave. But he will not re-sign in Minnesota if they don't give him some help. He'll go to a big market team, New York, LA. He'll do something. When LeBron's contract comes off for the Lakers, if Ant doesn't re-sign, I could see Ant going to LA. I could also see him going home to Atlanta.
Wow, that would be huge for them if they were to get him and if they could build around him.
That's exactly. Because, I mean, what is he, 20?
Oh, my God. He's
3? 23 years old.
He's 23. And he is a superstar, not even reaching that quite prime yet, but he's getting into – he looks like he's in his prime because he's been so good since day one.
Yes.
And they've got to – okay, since we're talking about him and adding, I think if they're going to add, they need to add next year. They can't wait to see what happens with this current squad and resign.
No. If they get beat, if they win it all somehow, they're good.
Hey, what's going on, Brandon? Man, how are you?
Yo, what's up, Brandon? They don't have to do anything. If they don't win it all, you have to figure out a way to keep Julius Randle, add a third piece, and get rid of Rudy Gobert. I'm talking. This Rudy Gobert and Michael Porter Jr. need to be on the same boat headed to China to play for the Shanghai Sharks or whatever that team's name is over there because they're both atrocious and don't need to be in the NBA. I'm sorry. I know people Gobert could come out and go 8 for 8 for 47 points next week and 16 rebounds. Get rid of him. Get rid of him.
He's definitely an offensive burden. I mean, he really hasn't. When he has been good, and I say good as in like 20 and 15 type player, he's always been kind of the lob it up to guy. He's not really a post player. He doesn't. I'm not saying he's not good in the post, but he doesn't really back you down. That's just not his style when he is scoring the ball. He's more of a rebound, put it back up guy offensively, and then So that's where they are struggling is offensively because when you have just a scorer and a pure scorer, and then you have a secondary scorer, which is your power forward. I'm not knocking Julius Randle at all. I think he is a great player.
Oh, I love Julius Randle. I think he fits the mold of a Timberwolf.
He does.
And Brandon, to your point, Brandon, yes, he is a good rim defender, but he is a liability on offense. He is a liability at the free throw line. The game is stretched now. So look at the game right now. Miles Turner and Karl Anthony Towns started like 3 for 3 from the 3-point line in their first quarter. They're not going to the rim. They're stretched out, which is going to bring him out. He's useless. He's useless if he's guarding a stretched big. And it showed. He had 2 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 block last night.
If he's only giving them 3 rebounds, that's rough. Okay, because you're going against Hartenstein mostly and a little bit of Chet, and you're only getting 3 rebounds. That's rough. I don't know. They almost need a shooter. They got to find a way to get consistent at the 3-point shot too, because that's the way the game is now, right?
Yes.
And Ant's good. He can shoot threes, but I see him go 15 for 16 or 15 or not 15 for 5 for 16 or 2 for 10. Like
he went 5 for 13 last night. Now he did get hurt at one point. I think he was out for a small stretch, but
yes.
And I'm going to tell you something that shocked me. When they were hanging in there, when they were close, they were 2 or 3 deep on their bench. I looked at the box score this morning. They played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They played 8 off the bench. 8 off the bench.
A recognized game on TikTok said he's been nursing that ankle for a little while now, and he has been. And he's going to fight through it because without Ant, there's no shot.
Yeah,
Julius Randle can't do it by himself. But he has people that can score. They're just not scoring. Like Daniels, he can score. He's a great defender too. He's long and lengthy. They just don't. He was getting shots in the last game. They've got to find a way to score and slow down. You're not going to stop OKC. This is what it blew my mind. Shea was 10 for 27, and they won like that. That's what I thought's been like OKC. That's what I've been worried about this whole playoffs. Is Shea hasn't been consistent like he was during the season. Obviously, you're in the playoffs, but when does that time come where that's going to affect them? The problem is OKC does have other scorers. It's not just SGA. You got Jalen. You have Wallace. You have Chet, who can score. He's kind of been quiet in the playoffs a little bit. He hasn't really been.
They had 15 last night.
I'm not saying he's not Chet, but Chet's always going to be secondary. He's not like the first option. He's not the second option. He gets his shots. I'll say that. And for Minnesota to even have a chance, they've got to find a way to slow them down, OKC down, and they've got to score the ball. And that's their problem. And we talked about that. That was going to be their problem coming into the game. Because Ant is your two-way player. He's your defender and your scorer. But OKC, as you can saw last night, obviously he's nursing an injury, and he has been, but it's wearing him down. He's not consistent. He's not making the shots that they need him to make to beat this team.
Let me ask you, who is your perfect fit to help Anthony Edwards? You're Minnesota, and you're needing to make a move to satisfy your star. I heard one today, and I completely understand it, but I completely disagree with it as well. But I want to hear who you would add to it.
You've got to get a 3-and-D or a shot, another shooter and a defensive player, like a true two-way player. Man, I think as well, not only do they need someone like that, I think they need Mike Conley isn't your answer at point guard. He's
Right.
older. I'm not saying he can't play. I love Mike Conley. His days in Memphis, like with Gasol and like Randall, like he's really good. He's not Mike Conley from just even 5 years ago. So, I mean, if we're going to be honest about it, like he's not the best defender, but he can defend-ish. Like getting a Devin Booker's not a bad pickup.
Okay, so listen, you went to the right team. Okay, this is what I heard.
You're talking about KD. I already know you're talking about
but
KD.
but listen to the scenario that this guy put out on Twitter today. If Phoenix was to blow it up, I'm talking everybody. You put a package with Rudy Gobert, a crap ton of picks, and some younger people, and you ship it off for KD. Okay, salaries are pretty close. Bring KD in. That allows you to keep Julius Randle, some young guys. If Miles Turner hit the free agent market, you bring in Miles Turner. Now you have a semi-core of Edwards, KD, Julius Randle, and Miles Turner. And then you throw your pieces around that, because not only does that help Phoenix, because they got a plethora of picks, they get a rim protector like Brandon said, and then you can still shop Booker, you can still shop Bradley Beal, get even more picks, get even more younger players, and build through the draft, build through like that right there. And yeah, I'm looking at the TikTok too, and recognize that they got Dillingham too. Dillingham is a perfect candidate for a starting role. He was amazing at Kentucky.
Listen, San Antonio, that was who they were going to draft.
They drafted and traded
for Castle. Trade.
Could you imagine Castle being in Memphis right now with Ant?
If he was in
Memphis, that was the one that got away.
Yes, it was. And I love Dillingham. I was surprised he didn't get the playing time this year that I thought he would get. Just because Mike Conley's older. So I get he's a rookie.
Yeah.
I understand that. But I expected maybe not as much as Castle, but more than what he got. Yeah. Dillingham can score. He's a good 3-point shooter. He's a shot creator. He's not as good as Ant, but he's a rookie. I hope that if I'm Minnesota, you don't trade him. Don't put him in a package, because you need a point guard, and I think he could be the future.
I agree
of Minnesota at the point guard position next year. I think when you come to the point guard for them, you got to have that talk with Mike Conley and see if he's willing to take the 6-man role. If they keep him, say, hey, listen, you've had an amazing career, but it's time to let the young buck take over from the point guard position.
And a lot of them don't want to do that.
I know they don't want to do that, but as an organization, if he's not willing to take that role, then you need to ship him out.
Yeah.
Go get you a veteran that's willing to play behind Dillingham and mold him into a point guard.
And as far as Rick, I'm assuming this is Evan that we're talking to. I'm not 100%, but Bill's no trade clause. If I'm Bradley Beal and I see KD being shipped out and I see Devin Booker being shipped out, I'm not staying in Phoenix. Phoenix turns into Washington at that point, where it's a constant rebuild, a constant 12 seed. I waive that no trade clause. Now, as long as it's beneficial for me. Like, I'm not waiving it to go to the Nets. I'm not waiving it to go to the Hornets. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm waiving it to go to Orlando. I'm waiving it to go to maybe the Pacers if the Pacers need a spot up shooter. Or
I'm waiving it to go to Detroit.
I'm waiving it to go to Detroit. Absolutely.
I think that's what happened with Bradley Beal. His years, he spent too much time in Washington.
Way too much. He's tried to stay loyal. When Wall left, he tried to stay loyal. He tried to do it the right way. And Bradley Beal in Washington was Dame Lillard in Portland. He was too loyal to the team that couldn't build around him. And again, how Portland could never build around Dame, I'll never understand. they wasted Dame's prime because prime Dame was really good, really good.
They even wasted some of McCollum's prime. He just left when
Yeah.
when he realized it was time to go.
Yeah.
He realized this.
Yeah, I
team
thought that was
wasn't
you,
going
Evan, but I
anymore.
would. Oh,
Trey,
my Trey
dude.
flew Ellen. Hey, we need to get in touch with you, Mr. Trey.
Hey Trey, hey, when I know you're busy right now, and man, again, congratulations on being with the
Absolutely.
Saints, man. Congratulations, my friend. If you ever get 5 free minutes, you need to hit us up.
Yes,
We
hit
would
us
love to
up.
have you back up. And yeah, Trey, appreciate you coming on, man. And yeah, man, I think Minnesota. I think Minnesota has some work. We picked them. We picked OKC in 5, and the only reason I pick it in 5 is because I respect Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, and that's about it. They've got some work to do. I mean, I hate to count them out because they've had a run with losing Cat. I thought losing Cat, when you thought about it, when that trade happened, you're like, Minnesota's going to maybe make the playoffs, but they've won 2 series.
Yeah.
And we don't know what would have happened against Golden State. I don't know if that Golden State still beats them with Steph because Minnesota was still a little much for them, I think. They had a better shot for sure. Like maybe the series goes longer. But I just don't know what they would have done still. But the Minnesota with this, look, they took this team right now to the conference finals. They've got to find a way to build it, and like the next step is the finals. There's no other step. They were in the back-to-back years in the conference finals. They've got to make that step.
Yeah, I agree with Evan. I don't know if you see it. I love the trade for Minnesota because I'm a big Julius Randle fan. I think Julius Randle is our day and age's Zach Randolph. He's that 4 kind of hybrid, can pop out if needed, but he's more of your bully. He's going to be on that block. He's going to get there, and so I love that trade for them because, like I said, I thought Julius Randle he embodied a Timberwolf player to me. I hated that. Go ahead.
I was going to ask Trey a question if you still hate Trey. How many beignets you've had? Because I know ain't no way. Don't say 0.
Yeah, ain't no way you're in New Orleans and ain't no beignets.
and I know you've been down there eating that seafood.
That seafood. Season gonna start. You gonna look like Zion.
And Trey, I do want to ask you too. Again, I mean, how's it going, man, down there in New Orleans, man? I see you post on Facebook and stuff and workout stuff. So, man, I'm just curious how it's going down there for you, man.
Yeah, DiVincenzo, he has not impressed me, and I think DiVincenzo signing or going to the Knicks and then getting traded, I think it hurt him. I think it crushed him because he was with all of his buddies. He was with his friends. You know what it made me think of? It made me think of Dalton Connect when he got traded to Charlotte. Then the trade got vetoed, and he got sent back. He hardly ever played. He was the last man on the bench. He was just kind of there. Now I know DiVincenzo's playing. He's getting minutes. He's putting up points. He's doing stuff here and there. But something is missing with DiVincenzo.
Yeah, it is. Like when he was in New York, I mean, he was with his boys.
Evan just said it. The trade shook him. It did. I mean, 100%.
It shook him big time. I mean, look at Dalton Connect. Dalton Connect wants out of LA. There's no question. What happened to him? It didn't just shook him. It tore him down to where he went from being that role player off the bench for LA to like not even playing. 4 minutes a game, 5 minutes a game here and there. And kind of the same thing for DiVincenzo, except I mean, they had to play him. They don't have a bunch of shooting in Memphis outside. Again, Julius and
Minnesota.
Minnesota, like they have McDaniels. They have some shooting, but like, yeah, man, I don't know what Minnesota does, man. But they've got this offseason. They've got to get somebody.
Hey, let me ask you this. You just said a name. I don't think it would happen. But what does a John Morant, Anthony Edwards backcourt look like?
Explosive.
And I think it's the same with
Evan said jail time.
That was what I was just going to say. I mean, what if he stays on the court? That's his biggest problem. That's his biggest. That is Ja's biggest problem. If I'm a team owner or if I'm a GM, that's my only knock about him is, am I getting him for 82 games? Am I getting him for 22 games? Is he going to throw up a grenade in the crowd and do a celebration and get suspended for half the season? That's the only knock about him. I think he's a great player. I thought he should have went number 1 overall. I liked Ja coming out of college more than I liked Zion. I've talked about this. Zion is a thicker Giannis. He's a downhill, needs to dunk, needs to do that kind of stuff. So, man, I really hope Ja gets it together this next season because I really want to see what he can do. I think he's coming up on his 4th or 5th year, so I think he could opt out if needed or free agency. Yes, they both need vets. I hope Anthony Edwards does not get too far gone into the star light, like being the star, that he gets ahead of himself. I think he is developing beautifully into a freaking superstar. He's always been really good. He was even really good at Georgia. But
he carried that Georgia team too. I mean, he took them.
Crap, yeah.
I mean, just like he's doing in Minnesota, and I completely agree with Evan. They need. Evan took all the words. They need leadership.
Yeah,
they need vets. The question is, you know who would be really, dude? I saw this player the other day, and I don't know which team he was on. Oh, I do. He's still playing. I did not realize he was still playing until I saw him play against the Knicks. James Johnston. Yeah. I didn't know he was the forward. And they talk highly of him. They need a vet, almost like I'm making a comparison here to something, but like a Joe Flacco, but in the NBA. A true vet that can mold you into a player for the league. Because with Ant being at that superstar level already, he has Mike Conley. Again, I'm not, but he needs a KD type player, someone that could be like, dude, because KD's not like he hoops and hollers, but he's pretty quiet for a superstar.
Dude, after the games, he goes home. He doesn't go out and party. He doesn't. Yes, and it's almost like, and to go along with the vet stuff,
PJ Tucker, another
Tucker is an absolute perfect one. People like Ja. And even Ant, if he decides to leave Minnesota, they need to go to a culture team like the Spurs or the Heat or somebody that has an infrastructure of a GM like Pat Riley, a coach, a owner that run it XYZ, and all the stars fall in line with XYZ. That's like Jimmy Butler. He fell in line for a little bit. Then he kind of went crazy, and they got rid of him. They kept the guys who bought into the system. And I'll tell you right now, I would love for Ant to stay in Minnesota his whole career. I think that is perfect for him. I think he is embodied Wolves play. He is this generation's Kevin Garnett. He's that tough. He's a perfect Minnesota player.
And I agree with what Evan said. Katie's the only person that would really listen to, but that's not the kind of leader he is. And people, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Katie and Ant are actually really good buddies. Yeah, really good. I think they would play great together. But even with KD, they would still need they need the vet that doesn't play. He's there to be just
PJ Tucker. I think Evan said that perfectly.
Yeah, a PJ Tucker, a James Johnson. He even said Tristan Thompson. Caruso,
I'll tell you somebody who hadn't played in a while, and I think they would be a perfect vet for that team. That's Jamal Crawford. Man, he could come in as a 7th or 8th man, but if he plays, he plays. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Or Kevin Love going back to Minnesota as a vet role.
Dude,
would
I'm
be
calling it.
amazing.
Kevin Love, please come, dude. If he came back to Minnesota to finish a career, dude, that would be sweet. Because Kevin Love at this point in career is not playing a lot. He'd be a
Yeah,
great
he's
leader.
just in.
He has
He is in
championship-
Miami, just hanging out.
championship. I mean, he's in the Miami at the beaches every day, playing a little bit
That's
when
it.
he can at practice. I mean, he would be a great leader. He has championship DNA in him. I mean,
Yep.
he would be. I mean, there's a plethora of veterans that they could use, and that's not just for Minnesota, but for Memphis. Memphis needs that veteran too. I mean, both of them.
He
Udonis
took over for
Haslem.
Haslam. Yes, he did.
Yes,
Kevin Love took over for Udonis Haslam. Yes, he did.
man, Udonis Haslem has. I heard he is one of the best leaders in the locker room. He really is. And,
I mean, he took all that money that he missed out on to stay with the Heat
for all those years. I mean, he never left, and I mean, and that's what we need in the league. It's kind of going back to all sports. You need that vet, that true vet leader, not a vet that's playing, not someone that's coming off the bench necessarily, but someone that's just there to be a leader, to mold the team into a championship leading team. That's what these younger teams need. Like, the
vets
Morris
are a
twins,
dying breed. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Nicholas Batum, like, man, there's so many. And Nicholas Batum is he plays, man. Every time I see him play, I'm like, dude, that dude is still playing. Like, and he shoots. He does nothing but sit on the 3-point line and just shoot. He don't do nothing else. Like, he sits there and shoots. The Morris twins, I don't even know. Are they? I mean, I know one of them's always on First Take now. I think he kind of took Shannon Sharp's place.
The other one is either at I want to say the Clippers or
in the Lakers. I think one of them's on the Lakers and one's on the Clippers.
Maybe
was on the Clippers.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's kind of where I am with where we're at. But then, I mean, we're looking at this game here. This is a heck of a game, man. I mean,
this has been a great game, dude.
It's 91, 94. New York's up by 3. I mean, this is. I mean, based off of what I've seen tonight, this is a 7-game series. If it's not a 7-game series, I would be really surprised.
Yeah.
And they were both on the other day. Keith was a Laker this year. That's what I thought. I knew one of them was on the Lakers. I mean, a lot of teams could use vets right now, including San Antonio. Like, I know we have
San Antonio. Yes,
I know they have Chris Paul, and Chris Paul is a phenomenal leader. He's still playing. I don't know if he's coming back. I hope he does.
Chris Paul would be a great vet for Minnesota.
He would be. And, I mean, again, if you get rid of Mike Conley and he leaves the Spurs, anybody that gets Chris Paul, you're getting a vet, you're getting a leader, and you're getting a coach. He's listen, Chris Paul will be a coach in this league at some point in time. I believe a head coach at some point. I think he has that type of game. Like, he's a coach on the court, has always been the coach because he's the point guard. He's the leader of the team. The point guard's supposed to be the leader of the team. And I wanted Chris Paul in San Antonio the year he went to Golden State. When I knew he left Phoenix, I was like, man, San Antonio, this is your time. Like, I've always wanted him in San Antonio for long. Even when we used to play the Clippers, I was like, man, I wish we can get Chris Paul. And when he finally came here, I was super excited about it, more because of the leadership and just the veteran presence of him being there. CP.
Yeah, I agree, Josh. He's always done it the right way. Josh, I appreciate you popping in, man. I really do.
Oh, hey, Joshua, what's up, man?
Yeah. You just reading the
said,
comments. You don't even see who's talking.
Yeah, I know. I was sitting over here reading what Evan said and everything, and then I realized, oh wait, Josh. So I think if Chris Paul wants that ring, if he will take the role he should take in San Antonio, he can win a ring in San Antonio. I get he played 82 games this year. The first time he's done that in a long, long time. So that shows he's healthy. I think if Chris Paul hangs out, he'll get him one. I hate at the point. This is kind of what Carmelo did. He bounced around trying to get that ring. It just never happened.
Yeah, I hated that Carmelo. Like I said, being a Carmelo fan, like I've said this before, my second favorite player of all time. Not saying he's the second greatest player of all time. I'm saying he's my second favorite player that I've ever watched play the game. Um, when he went, I hate to see superstars try to stay superstars instead of filling in roles, and that's what Carmelo tried to do. He went to New York, and when he left New York, he still tried to be the Denver Carmelo at Oklahoma City, at Houston, in Portland, in LA, and it tarnished his legacy a little bit. Not a lot, but it hurt it a little bit. Because Denver and New York Carmelo were unbelievable. The top 5 scorer in the league, one of the best ISO games in the league. Just a great physical. It was just awesome to watch. But each team, it seemed like it tarnished his because he never slid into that 6-man role. He never slid into that.
Hey Evan, I do have a question. So you said if they were to land Giannis, what do you really okay? And this is obviously we're Spurs fans, so me and Derek have talked about this a ton. Me personally, I don't want this to come out the wrong way. I don't want Giannis, and I'm going to explain why. There's only one reason why. I don't want to give up the farm. I don't want to take a chance of losing Stephon Castle because
that's where it hinges. I'm telling you right now, that's the whole thing hinges on Castle.
I guess my question for Evan or Josh or whoever, if they're paying attention, do you give up a Stephon Castle plus whatever else, picks, players for Giannis? Because if he's in the package, I'm not giving up Stephon Castle for nobody in the league right now. I don't care who it is. Nobody. Because of what he did winning Rookie of the Year and then what is to come from him. You just don't give it up. There's no way you give it up. Because I got into an argument with a guy.
Yep, Josh said no, and anything else. And Evan said no, anything else but Stephon Castle. And that's what we've
Yeah.
Here's my roster. Mine is Fox, Castle, and Wemby. Take what you want. You can have whatever else. But again, I am not certain that Giannis is what we need. I think we've talked about it. I think 2 firsts and a couple of players for a Booker is what San Antonio needs. Somebody that can play a little defense, somebody that can shoot some threes, create their own shot, get to the basket.
I almost forgot about Fox.
Yeah,
listen, I forget about him too. I forget about Fox. I'll be talking about, hold on, we got Fox still.
That's what Evan said. I forgot about Fox.
Yeah,
I do like Booker more. I mean, I think he just fits perfectly because now you have a 4-man rotation where you could whip out Paul as your 1, Fox as your 2, Booker as your 3. You could go Fox, Castle, Booker. You could go CP3, Castle, Booker. I mean, that's a 4-man rotation or 3-man rotation right there for your 3. Still have Wemby, so you're placing quick guards, good spot up shooters, good shot creators around Wemby, who can also stretch if needed, a little pick and pop, a little something like that. I think that right there just sounds better than Fox, Wemby, and Giannis. I mean, there's just so much. I'd love to throw, and we've talked about this. Get a Nas Reed to come to San Antonio. Yes. If Miles Turner's available, you think I'm not going to get Miles Turner and Wemby as my 2 bigs? I would take Miles Turner over Giannis just simply for the fact that he can shoot. Miles Turner can shoot. Giannis is not the best shooter. That's why they sag off of him.
Yeah, and there's a multiple big man I think San Antonio's going to go after. I mean, this is crazy. I'm about to say this. It'd be a reunion, but Sabonis. I wouldn't mind a Sabonis in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Even that. I don't think this would happen because I think they're building. But even Kessler out of Utah, I love him. He's young too. That's what I love about him. He's young. He's not quite as good as the other ones. Joshua, they did hire a coach already. They hired Mitch Johnson, who played the interim head coach role. And
while he was,
I know he looks 25, but he's been in that organization for 10 years.
Yeah,
and I'll say this: I was really Pop announced he was done, and I'm not even kidding you. 20 minutes later, Mitch Johnson hired as the head coach. I think they already knew it before they announced everything, which of course I'm sure they did. But I was really when I first heard that Mitch Johnson was taking over, I was slightly disappointed in the beginning because I thought that there was better options at the time. You had Mike Malone, you have Mike Brown on the staff, you have Brent Brown on the staff. There was other people in place in San Antonio.
Oh, Evan. So did Evan. Said he thought it was going to be Becky's job. That was our first thought too. We were like,
Hammond,
that's Becky's job. And I honestly thought also that Mike Malone was at least going to get a thing. But I'm going to tell you, the more that I think about this, and I've said this on here, I've said this on here before, and I'm going to bring it up again. A lot of these people won't know who I'm talking about, but White Oak High School in White Oak, Texas, they rotate. Like if you played there, you go to college and you get hired back on at the school. You coach the middle school, then you coach the ninth grade, then you coach the JV, and eventually when the coach retires, you kind of move up. It's the same system. It's the same. They have the same, I believe. That's their saying. That's been their saying for 57 years because everything is the same. And I think that's what the Spurs were going for. I think they were going to go, everything's going to be the same. There's going to be a little tweaking here and there, but I think you're going to bring in the same guys. I don't think Ja Morant is coming to San Antonio. He's not. That's a culture. He's not the culture guy. He's not who San Antonio drafts or who San Antonio gets. No knock to Ja. I think he's a great player, but I'm just saying that's not the guy that San Antonio would get.
I watched the podcast this week with Gilbert Arenas and I forgot the other player that's on there with them. They had Danny Green on, and they were talking about Pop and the Spurs and that culture. And surprisingly, I'm going to say this. It's probably going to shock y'all, but he said that him and Tony Parker, Pop was the hardest on them too, even harder than Tim Duncan and all. It was him and Tony. He was always on their butt. And he said that the San Antonio Spurs, and I think we know this. This isn't a surprise, but they only bring in players to fit the role, to fit the mold.
That's it.
Why? Because they were asking him, well, what about Steven Jackson? He said, well, Steven Jackson fit the mold, but he couldn't do. He wouldn't. All he did was talk too much. He was always mad about the playing time.
Yep.
So if you're not the role player, if you're not the guy for what they need, they're not going to bring you in. And that's where I'm curious what they do, because we need shooters. We need another big man. We need a little bit better go get better defensively. And Josh, I think Tim Duncan will be a great coach, but I don't think he'll ever coach. I just don't think he will.
That's like Michael Jordan. I think Tim Duncan did the fundamentals so well. So to look out there and see non-fundamental stuff or jacking stuff up or stuff like that, I don't think he'll ever do it because that would be so hard for him. That's like I said, Jordan wouldn't do it. I don't think Tom Brady will ever be a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was so fundamentally sound. Peyton Manning, people like that, they are so wrapped around doing the small things so well that they just wouldn't be well as a coach. But I think he coached like 3 or 4 games a couple years ago, just to do it. Pop let him do it, and I mean it was good, but it just I don't know 82 games. I don't know if he has it.
The thing about this is. Manu, Parker, and Duncan, they're always around the organization. They're always going to be there.
They're in the organization. They're doing something in the organization.
They're doing something. They're in there working with the players. They're there. They just may not be listed there. And, I mean, if Tim Duncan was to be a head coach there, obviously it would be like, whoa. But like Derek said, he's not – he would be too fundamentally – worried about the fundamentals so much that it would be his coaching would be the old school way and it wouldn't work in this day and age. I think that's why they went with Mitch Johnson to bring in. I think they'll be running and gunning a little bit more with Fox because Fox he likes to run and gun. He likes to run the ball. He likes to get down there and not necessarily run that half court offense all the time. But yeah, I'm excited for them. I'm excited for the draft. It's not far away. It's not but a month-ish away, I think. Maybe not even that long. It's close to that, I think, after the season, right after that. Evan said Knicks in 7. Derek said the same thing. I said the other night Pacers in 6. I'm not – man, I don't know what it is about this Pacers team. I love this Pacers team. I love Tyrese Halliburton. I love Neymar. I love TJ McConnell. I mean, I can go down the list of players. I love the Knicks too.
So I'm going to tell you why that when Brandon was on, I was talking about Rudy Gobert. Karl Anthony Towns is 7 of 10 shooting, 3 for 4 from behind the arc for 25 points. Rudy is a no factor with Cat 35 feet from the basket.
No.
What does the rim protector have to do if he has to go out there and guard somebody shooting threes?
Yeah, I mean, and
they're up 108-92 now. I think the lower the score, the better it is for the Pacers.
I will agree with that.
I think once you get over 100, then that's kind of getting out of the Pacers range. But
yeah.
So kind of with all that, we're gonna not transition because we're still talking about basketball, but SGA is your MVP.
Oh yeah, here we go.
So I threw the poll out there today just to see.
What were the results?
78% said the biggest robbery was Hunter over Genty.
I agree.
And I got to be honest. I'm torn between this because while I am super happy that they thought Hunter was overrated and shouldn't won the Heisman, I'm a little sad as well because I was telling everybody, Jokic is getting punished for having a top 2 center season of all time. For SGA to win MVP, and he doesn't even have, to me, I left my paper at work, but I didn't think he even had a top 5 point guard season of all time. At best, just off the top of my head, he would be third. James Harden with the triple-double and Russell Westbrook with the triple-double are both in front of him, just off the top of my head. That doesn't include Magic when he was 21, 11, and 9, I think, almost a triple-double. Oscar Robertson when he was having the triple-double. And that's just off the top of my head. So
here's a good one I want to throw at you since we're talking about the point guards. Who had the better season? And they both had MVP seasons. SGA or Derrick Rose? His MVP season versus SGA's. Who would be better in your opinion? I'm just curious. I don't know there's a wrong answer. I'm just curious who had the better MVP season.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if the Hawkaholics are I don't know if Brandon and Brad are watching this, but this is no knock to SGA. Derrick Rose was a problem. Derrick Rose was a problem in Chicago. I think Derrick Rose was on pace to be a top 2 point guard of all time. So I'm going to say Derrick Rose for the simple fact. Could you tell me who was on Derrick Rose's teams when he won?
My God, if I remember correctly, he had Taj Gibson, he had Joakim Noah. Did he have Luol Deng? Was he on that
Luol
team?
Deng, yeah.
Luol Deng. Who was their shooting guard? Was it Kirk Heinrich? Was he on that team?
Kirk Heinrich was on there. Jimmy Butler was on there.
Jimmy Butler was on there.
Okay, this was rookie Jimmy Butler. Or rookie. Either rookie or second year Jimmy Butler. Whatever it was.
It was his early season.
So it's not like he had studs on there. Now, I'm not saying SGA has studs on his team either. Like, I mean, he has great players, but I don't think he has studs. I think that Bulls team could have made the playoffs without Derrick Rose. But I don't think this Oklahoma City team could have made the playoffs. I mean, I'm sorry, the other way around. I don't think the Bulls would have made the playoffs without Derrick Rose. This Oklahoma City team would have made the playoffs without SGA. I firmly believe they would have been a 7-ish.
I don't think either one of these teams makes the playoff. I'm not going to say I don't consider the play-in playoffs. I don't. I know people do because when I say playoffs, I mean 1 through 8 or 1 through. Well, I guess it'd be 1 through 6. 1 through 6 technically because you got to play for the 7th. So 1 through 6, they're not a 1 through 6 team. Either one of them. I think that SGA and Jokic do mean that much to both of these teams. I don't think either one of them. They might be playing teams at best.
Yeah.
Listen, this is what I said about this, and it went exactly how I thought. whoever won that series, they waited till after that series was going to win it.
And gave it to him. I think the same thing. I think if it was the other way, they would have been gave to Jokic in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals.
I completely agree. They were waiting to see who won the series. I don't think that's right. I'm not saying they picked wrong. I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying. Like I've said since the debate's really been these two is like it's time for them to pick somebody else. It's time.
And see, I don't like that voter fatigue thing. And I'm going to do this with the same way that I did the Hunter and the Genty thing. Okay, if SGA has his same stats, okay, if Jokic and Denver was the second seed, who would get it?
Well, whoever's
now, well, I'm talking about Jokic or SGA. If Denver's not a 4 seed, if they're the second best team in the NBA, they're 1 game behind Oklahoma City, or one game ahead of Oklahoma City. I'm sorry, they're the 1 seed. They're 1 game ahead of them. SGA still has the same stats. He has the same stats. But they give it to Jokic because Jokic is the number 1. How do you give it to that guy? If that's the best, he should be the best regardless. Go to Genty and Hunter. If Genty's putting up those numbers at Georgia, Hunter's still putting up the exact same numbers he's putting up. He's the unicorn. He should still get it. It shouldn't go to Genty. Hunter's still doing the same thing. The voter fatigue and this one played this one or this one played that. I don't like all that. Like, the best is the best regardless. They've got 10 people playing. I've got 10 people playing. The best is the best.
And I agree with that because I agree with that because I'm saying, like I said earlier too in our network chat, is that I know it's MVP, but it's who's a top seed, how far do you go in the playoffs? That's what they vote on. And they should release it before the first playoff game. I agree. They release all the other awards before then. What are they waiting on?
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be MVP for the season.
Yeah.
And MVP means most valuable player of the league. Not who's the most valuable player, who got the farthest. Like, I know if LaMelo Ball is the MVP of the league and they don't make the playoffs, he's the MVP of the league. I don't care what team he's on. I don't care if Wemby is the best player in the league and he should be the most valuable player and they don't make the playoffs, give it to him. He was the most valuable player in the league. That's how it should be.
I agree.
It hasn't been that way. It hasn't been that way in a long time.
If let's just say Wemby, if he's averaging a quadruple double and no one else on his team is scoring over 5 points a game and they win 4 games and nobody else is, that's not his fault. That's not his fault. That a quadruple double, I don't care what you do, that should be the MVP. Not because they're the 15th seed. And
just like
they
how
should do it like the NFL honors now. Yeah, I agree. They should do it like the NFL does it.
Like I hate that you got to play this many games to get the awards. I understand it, but Wemby, in my opinion, still should have got Defensive Player of the Year. No one even got close to beating him. Who won it? Who won the defensive MVP or the Defensive Player of the Year award?
Dude from Atlanta, wasn't it?
That's my point. We don't even know who the hell it is.
Yeah,
that's my point. We don't even know who the hell he is, and like he got the Defensive Player of the Year because the only reason he got it is because Wemby didn't he got hurt.
Evan Mobley won it. That's right, Mobley won it.
And I'm not knocking Evan Mobley. I'm not, but his stats were nowhere near defensively what Wemby's won, and Wemby only played 50-ish games or whatever it was. Yeah. Like, I hate how they punish players for getting hurt, especially. And it's not even an injury; it's a serious medical issue, not even an injury.
The reason that I like the way that you have to play to get the thing is because I think it cuts. I think teams are going to start putting, okay, let's say Luka. You win MVP, $1 million bonus. But now you have to play 75 games. You can't play 55 games and win MVP, and now I'm losing you for 30 games a season because you don't want to you don't want to suit up because you're tired.
Well,
You're still getting paid.
I agree with like the games, but I'm saying like if it's something like what happened to Wimmy cost him a Defensive Player of the Year award, I think there should be stipulations to it. Like you got to play. Let's just say you got to play 50 games, but if you get this type of injury, it doesn't knock you out of the running because that's not his fault.
Yeah,
it's just not his fault. Now if you're taking the night off because you're injured, but you're just taking the night off and you only play 50 games, that's a whole different ballgame. That's just different. I mean, they'll never change it. I mean, it's probably going to get worse. I think one day on the awards, it will eventually be like fan-based voting wins the award. I think at some point in time it will be that way. And you're going to get whose favorite player is winning the award. It's not like who's the most valuable player. I mean, it's already kind of going that way in a way. It's just not the fans aren't voting.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I don't like the structure.
I don't want to have anything to do with fans voting for stuff either.
No, I don't either. I'm not saying I want
because
that,
you'll get Zaza Pulisic starting in the All-Star game like he did 5 years ago. And yeah, I don't want that either.
Yeah, I don't, man. I don't want it. By the way, Evan, Josh, everybody, thank everybody for hanging out and interacting with us, especially Evan on TikTok. We love it. So yeah, looks like I don't know if the game's over, but it looks like the Knicks take this game one. So good, kudos to the Knicks for game one. Game one's always crucial. And this, especially this deep into the playoffs. But let's see what's going on in the NFL. That I did see that
Jim, the Colts owner, passed away today.
Yes, I saw that, man.
I saw that. George Pickens came out today, first practice with the Cowboys. Looked good. I don't know. Did you see the interview with him and CD?
I did not see it. No.
I loved it. They asked CD, kind of they were both standing there, and they asked him along the lines of, what's it like to have like another receiver, another wide receiver one. Y'all kind of going to be battling for. He said, "No, you don't understand. I'm 1A. He's 1A." He said, and that's okay. He said, "We're not battling for nothing." He said, "We're trying to win. You can't double him. You can't double me. So we're in this together." And Pickens was just like, "That's right. Like and I love that. I love that neither one of them want to be the alpha. They both want to eat. They both want. And I think it's going to be huge. Like I said, I thought that was a perfect trade for Dallas because Pickens is more outside the numbers down the field. Lamb is more inside the numbers. Even up like the post route stuff like that. So I thought that was a perfect pickup for him.
Well, Evan said NFL players in the Olympics. What is that about?
Yes, the flag football. They voted on the flag football. 2028 flag football is coming to the Olympics, and the NFL owners approved that they could play in the Olympics.
So okay, hold on.
Like Lamar Jackson could be your quarterback.
Derrick Henry could be your running back. CeeDee Lamb and George. I mean, so it's going to be a USA team.
It's going to be a USA team. Listen to my team. It's two wide receivers, a tight end, a running back, a quarterback, and a center.
Like 7-on-7. Is it 7-on-7?
It's 7-on-7. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson. Now, and I'm doing this per going to win the Olympics, not per I think they're the best player at that position in the NFL. Lamar Jackson as your quarterback. I think he'd be a phenomenal 7-on-7 quarterback.
Good luck catching him.
My wide receivers are going to be Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase. Okay, I'm throwing them out there. My running back is going to be Josh Gibbs from Detroit.
Saquon? No Saquon at all?
No. I want Gibbs from Detroit.
Okay. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I love Gibbs, but okay.
Okay. My tight end.
Center? Or give me the center last.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the center last because these people also have to play defense. I think these people have to play defense. I could be wrong, but I think so.
That's going to be interesting.
I know. That's why I've picked who I picked.
Okay.
My tight end is going to be Kyle Pitts. Okay. My center is going to be Micah Parsons. Think about it.
No way.
Think about it. If they have to play defense, you find me a linebacker that can cover, because the center can turn around, I think, and go out as a pass route too, I believe. I don't remember how it all works out, but I think that's a solid team. Let's go win a Olympics.
Because when you said tight end, I had a name in mind, but now that you're saying that they've got to play defense, I understand your pick. Because when I thought tight end, I was just talking about like somebody at that point in time is going to be in their prime. When you said tight end, I was thinking Brock Bowers, but defensively, I don't know how good he'd be.
I don't know the whole rules. Like if it's not, then yeah, I would definitely put Brock Bowers in there. And I mean, I'm sure they're going to have 12 people on offense coming. You know what I mean? The backups and whatever.
Yes.
But I was just saying, if they had to play defense, now you've got Kyle Pitts, who's a little bit bigger body, a little taller, can guard the other tight end. Then as far as defensive wise, you've got Lamar Jackson as your free safety. You've got everybody else matched up across the board. I mean, I don't think South Korea is rolling out anybody that's going to be hanging out with our people in the Olympics.
You're missing somebody.
What position?
Who's
Not
the
as a
coach?
starter.
Who's the coach?
The coach.
Who's going to be the coach of the team? Who's the coach?
Do you want me to tell you who the coach is? And this
Who's
is
the
just
coach?
for fun. This is just for fun. This is just because I think he would be so awesome to hang out with at the Olympics. Give me Pete Carroll. Give me Pete Carroll, and let me go hang out with Pete Carroll or Jim Harbaugh. Give me somebody like that I want to hang out with, like Uncle Jim. Give me Uncle Jim Harbaugh. Let's go hang out.
That's like Evan said Andy Reid. Oh, Andy.
Depends on where it is. Like if it's like in Italy or something, Andy gonna be eating a mess out of some pizza. We can't have it. He gonna be laid up in the hotel room, stuffed with pizza, heartburn. Ain't gonna be able to do nothing.
I was when you said Pete Carroll, I instantly thought of Mike Krzyzewski. That's what I thought of, like for the summer for the basketball side.
He just said it's in L.A. Harbaugh. Give me Harbaugh.
Oh yeah,
hometown dude. Give me Harbaugh.
Wow, that would be crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that. I mean, I'm curious how that is. It going to be set the same way as basketball, etc. Does someone pick the players, or do they have to get the invite? I would assume it'd be invite type thing. I would think. I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see how that's going to work. I mean,
and I think they have to work together. I mean, again, look at the Cowboys. Like Pickens is an outside kind of receiver. Lamb is inside. I wouldn't get 5 people that just run slants. That's not going to help your team out. But now I did hear, I don't know if you've seen this or not. If you haven't, I'll try to find it and send it to the group, or you need to look it up. There's actually a professional flag football league in the United States. And there is a dude that plays quarterback for the professional team. And he said they don't need no NFL players. They can represent the USA in the Olympics. And dude is like, and I'll tell you who one of my backup receivers would be, just right off the top of my head, would be Tyreek Hill.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
But yeah, I'll see if I can find it where he's like we don't need Patrick Mahomes. We don't need Lamar Jackson. It's like we can win the Olympics for that. And I mean, that's like their job. And I think, honestly, I would be pissed if my job is flag football and all of a sudden you guys are coming to take my job where I could represent my country.
Evan said he said he'd imagine there'd be an invite combine kind of thing.
I think so too. But I mean, could you imagine Michael Phelps? Okay, greatest swimmer ever. and that's what he does. And then all of a sudden, I decide I want to swim, so I'm gonna go swim and take his spot. That'd be crappy. Like that would be crappy. So I see where the guys are coming from, but that's just kind of my thinking on the thing.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, that's interesting. I had not heard about that until Evan put that up. So that'd be interesting to see. I mean, we got 3 years, of course, but I'm kind of excited about that. Like, imagine going up against dude here.
Russia's going to be fighting. They're going to have like a 6'9" quarterback that's 240.
Be like
rugby players. Rugby players, or it's going to be like the dude off of Rocky. I must break you.
Yes. Could you imagine
instead of drinking water, they're drinking vodka in between plays?
could you imagine like the Samoans team going out there doing the dances like
the New Zealand people? Yeah, that'd be sick.
Imagine Steven Adams out there playing flag football.
Oh yeah, yes.
6'10", throw me the ball. That's funny, man. That's awesome, though. I did not know that. I hadn't heard that yet, so that's pretty cool. We'll see what happens with that. Well, in the way future. Evan said McAfee said a similar thing about STS getting more arena guys than outdoor soccer guys, smaller field and all that. Yeah, I mean, there's professionals that do this. I mean, flag football is not NFL football. I mean, yes, you can have speed, which is great. But I do agree, if we're going to do this as an Olympic thing, let the professionals do it that play the flag football. I mean, I think that's fair. Like kind of like.
And I'm not saying they can't do it. I firmly believe that freaking Lamar Jackson could translate from NFL football to flag football.
Oh,
it's not that they can't do it, but it's the fact. I don't want CeeDee Lamb going out there and possibly getting hurt playing freaking flag football, and now he doesn't play for the Cowboys next year. You know what I mean? Like that. I was surprised that the owners actually approved it. Because could you imagine Baltimore fans if Lamar gets hurt in flag football?
Oh my!
They're riding. The stadium is getting ran through, bro. They're stealing chairs. They're tearing the stadium up, and then they're going to go tear the owner's house up for allowing him to do it.
Yeah, you're not lying. Oh, by the way, we have one more thing NFL wants to talk about.
Yes, I agree, Evan. The NBA players run the same risk. I agree, 100%.
Something else happened today in the NFL. Tush push. The tush push.
Again, I said it in the chat twice. I don't really care if it's in there, if it's not, but I do firmly believe they should have a camera over the top to help monitor it because they jump early every time. I think that's why it's so effective because that they're so tight in there that you really can't see what goes on. And I think that those guards get just a hair jump early and they knock that first penetration down. And everybody else is just right over top of them. So I think they have to have something to prevent it. But I don't
understand. Care. I'm with you. I don't understand why people are upset about it. I mean, I do. Kind of like your point, like they're jumping a little early. I don't care if it's there either way. You either got to be good enough to do it or be good enough to stop it, and that's just it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to start scheming for it. You have to start scheming for it. Like, Philly is going to run the tush push. They invented it. It's going to happen. Scheme for it. Put all of them in right there, and you just hit each other in the mouth and try to stop them. What's the difference? What's the difference than being on the goal line and trying to stop a 1 yard play, just a running back right up the middle? What's the difference except it's coming from the quarterback?
So I'm a smart aleck. Okay, I'm a 100% smart aleck. If I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, my first play of the 2025 season is the tush push. I'm talking the first. I get my rings right in front of Dallas. I line up and do the tush push. First play. I don't care if I end up putting on the series. I'm doing the tush push just to stick it to everybody that, hey, I can still do this. You can either stop me or you cannot stop me. I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. Well, they shouldn't even run it next year. Fake it all season.
Oh my
Well,
God, that would be funny. What if they didn't run it at all? Like there's this big thing about it, and then they don't ever run it. They just don't ever. I love that. That'd be awesome too.
Yeah, I love Evan said that. That's hilarious. Well, Derek, I mean, speaking of that, we have an announcement.
Yes,
We have
we
not
do, dude.
we have not done that. And
We
so
have not done this one on live yet because we actually had the conversation Monday, and here it is Wednesday. I don't know. Do you see the name Evan's name in the TikTok? You see the end of it?
I just
I love
seen
it. I just seen it. I just seen it. So for those of y'all that are listening or watching, we have the TikTok pulled up.
I love it. I love it.
So Monday evening, me and Dustin had a phone call or a video call with another podcast, our second podcast in 3 weeks, I guess. And we are happy to announce that Evan and his brother Caleb on a Recognized Game sports podcast are officially joining us. We are going to go in Friday night and get everything set up for them guys to get them kind of started out. Not exactly sure what. Maybe this coming Sunday night, Monday morning they'll be live. Not 100% sure on that yet. We'll have to get with them and see exactly when they want to. But that they're going to be it's very unique. It is a 1 a.m. Monday morning show.
I love it so much.
Which means when y'all get to work Monday morning, I'm going to have it shared 200 pages. And so you find it, you watch it, you comment. If you're up at that time, watch it. We grew, dude. I think they're probably 130 followers now. I mean, so they blew. Yeah, once we get the pages going for them, I mean the StreamYard and stuff. Page has already hit where it's supposed to be, so it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome.
I love. I mean, Evan and your brother. I love this group so much, and I told this to Derek the other day. It was yesterday. I love their sports, but it's just not sports. They do pop culture. If there's a special Oreo comes out, they'll talk about it the whole time. I love it. It's something so different that it brings another aspect to what we're doing here. But Evan, if you're here, I told this to Derek. Y'all, when I watch y'all, y'all remind me of the Pat McAfee show, but on our network. That's what I see, and I love it. The no filter type people. I just love it, and I'm really happy y'all are going to be joining us, and I'm excited to work with y'all, and I'm excited, and they're in Evans in Denver, if I'm correct.
No, Evans in Iowa. Brother is in Colorado. Yes,
Colorado. That's right. So, still mad about those Oreos. I bought the chocolate covered ones. Dude, I love it.
So,
man.
Y'all keep. If you don't follow them yet, go to our page. They're posted on there. Go to their page, Recognized Game, Facebook page. We'll reshare it once we kind of get everything going Friday. We'll put another post out, make sure everybody's following. Invite everybody just like y'all do with us. We appreciate all the support. Me and Dustin have talked kind of on our own, and 9 months ago we had no idea what this was going to do.
We had no idea we were getting into.
We had no idea. We were just a couple people talking about sports and enjoying the crap out of it, just to take a break from the normal day-to-day stuff. 9 months later, we've added 4 shows now under this network. We're growing it. Each show is growing. Each show is putting out amazing content. You've got us. You've got the Philly. Sorry in advance. You've got On Time Sports. You've got the Crew Talk Sports. The ones we added them last week. Still working out everything on their end to get their Facebook page up and running. June 9th is going to be their first show, Monday night. So a lot of awesome things happening with us and the network. We've had a plethora of amazing interviews last week with John Abraham. I thought that was so cool of him. We've got a lot of stuff in the works. I've thrown out a lot of stuff. I send Dustin pictures all the time of what I'm working on. A lot of it doesn't stick. Some of it sticks, and then it burns out in the end when you find out certain things, but that's okay too. So I've got some more stuff that I've kind of worked on today that I hadn't really set out because I had a busy day today. And I really hadn't had the time just to sit down and get into it. But, yeah, be on the lookout for everything. It's exciting. We got a lot of stuff coming up, and it's very, very exciting.
Yeah, we're really excited to have Crew Talk Sports and Recognized Game on big time. And also, don't forget, On Time Sports is on tomorrow at 7. And then we will be Friday for our annual golf sesh. Hopefully,
that's right.
Hopefully, not Josh. Hopefully, Sean can join us, and Anthony. I'm not sure. Have you talked to him?
I haven't talked to him. I'm gonna reach out to him tomorrow and just kind of check in with him and see where he's at.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, we have exciting things going on here. Me and Derek are shocked, surprised, and happy all at the same time because we did not expect to be here, especially 9 months into it, being where we are. And so we're going to continue to grow all of our shows on here. And appreciate that, Evan. I hope I haven't met your brother, but I am excited to get with him too. I'm telling y'all, man, when y'all get going, I don't know if Derek is as a night owl as me, but I am a night owl. And once y'all get going and settled and have some lives after a certain amount, I would love to be on there with y'all and chat it up and talk whatever, whether it's Oreos or whatever it is. Sounds like fun. So I'm excited to work with y'all as well. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at for the rest of the week. So be here tomorrow at 7 to be with William and Casey. You never know what you're getting with them.
You never know what or who. You never know what character's showing up.
Or who. I have a feeling, and I haven't spoken to Casey or William, I feel like there's some new characters down the road, and I'm excited.
Yes, I do too.
They're so funny. I can't even imagine what they bring in the future with their characters. I love it. So excited for all that. And like I said, we'll be back Friday. Sean, I think he cheated this week. So, he somehow got 11 under. He sent us our score. He's really just a cheater. So it's okay, Sean. We'll let you have it. We'll let you have it. No, I'm sure he didn't cheat. Sean's been doing really well. Him and Derek have been doing really well. So we'll see what happens. But we appreciate everybody being here, interacting with us. Josh, Brandon, Trey, and all of AJ's fans. I don't know who they were, but he had a lot of love in the beginning. Evan, we have over 100 or 1,500 likes on TikTok, so we appreciate all the love there. And we'll see y'all. Like I said, be here tomorrow for On Time Sports, and we'll see y'all Friday.
All right, man. We'll holler at you.
Everybody have a good one. We'll see y'all later.